Let me tell you, this is completely ridiculous. The Shiba Inu has been going through a torrid phase as of late. The prevailing opinion among analysts is very upbeat and they are all withdrawing their signals. It would seem that 7 million Shiba Inus are more than plenty. The enchantment of this number has just been confirmed. Here we have the most unusual feature. Even more fantastic things may be in store for the Shiba Inu along the road. I was surprised by how near it was. Just what is going on and how could Shiba Inus change people's lives again? Now I'll explain it more thoroughly. Your daily dose of Shiba wealthy coins is here. If Shiba is something that piques your interest, you have come to the right place. Stay ahead of the curve in the cryptocurrency business and get the scoop on all the newest news predictions by subscribing. Click the like button to receive more Shiba news. Once again, Shiba Inu proves it deserves to be at the top of the meme food chain. Although there have been huge swings in the cryptocurrency market, the Shiba Inu price fell somewhat before climbing back up again. Also, people are starting to pay attention. At this very moment, enthusiasm is thick in the air. Is this just a suggestion, for instance, or may something far bigger be about to happen? Already some people are wondering if a major breach is about to happen. On the other hand, is this just another ruse to set the stage for the next move? But wait, before we go any further, what if I told you that becoming one of the top 1% of Shiba Inu token holders requires around 7 million? I understand that this seems ridiculous. Nonetheless, stick around because I'll explain everything eventually. Having said that, let's back up a bit and look at the cost chart for the real occurrences. To be completely honest, it takes me by surprise. An analyst has just discovered something that could change the result of the event. He thinks a setup for a sideways breakout is developing. It sounds precisely like what it is. Over the past few years, Shiba Inus have shown an abnormally limited range of motion. The object seems to be at ease, as if it were coiling up between two supports like a spring, without drastically cutting down on the amount of beating, just raising the pressure. The situation becomes interesting at this stage. Once the price breaks out of its present range, it could experience a dramatic rise to the upside. Patience may pay off in the end. This is one of those cases. A muttering has been heard in the graph. This kind of consolidation usually doesn't last for a long time if history repeats itself. How do we proceed from here? The pace could be quite quick. It might be really strong. And if it breaks through the invisible barrier it's been facing, we might be in for a big surprise. A major deal involving Shiba Inus was finalized today. So how about the numbers? Their claims can shock you to your very core. According to Arkham Intelligence's on-chain data, Bitfavo, one of the biggest crypto exchanges in Europe, recently received a substantial amount of Shiba Inu tokens, about $12 billion worth. That is also not a simple maneuver. We are talking about a transfer that's worth more than 6 figures. And here's the greatest part. It came from a Shiba Inu that had been holding nearly $1.5 million worth of cryptocurrency. There is a lot of discussion that follows from this. Was it just a simple wallet swap, or is something more serious going on? Here is some background information that makes the matter even more mysterious. Is this the identical wallet? It got 120 billion Shiba Inu coins, an incredible amount, about a month ago from a Coinbase Prime account. I agree with you. $120 billion. So far, only a fraction of that, about 10%, has been doled out. Nevertheless, it was transmitted straight to a hot wallet on an operational exchange instead of being moved to another cold storage account, where it could be safely kept offline. How then may we interpret that? Is this the beginning of a bigger sell-off, comparable to the first domino that sets off a larger chain reaction? Or is it just a move in the grand scheme of things? A part of transferring assets in anticipation of a potential breakout. Whatever the case may be, it communicates an important point. At this time, many prominent people are interested in Shiba Inus. They can be setting themselves up to take advantage of an opportunity. Accumulation, rotation, or getting ready to cash in on profits all add gasoline to the fire of conjecture about the possible happening of a major event. People tend to stock up on their own Shiba Inu bags when events like this happen. But then the important question comes: how much is it really going to take to make money that changes your life? One analyst's analysis was perfect. He claimed that if the Shiba Inu ever reaches its incredible historical peak, an investment of just $100 may yield $1 million. This is not just wishful thinking, no matter how ridiculous it sounds. Shiba Inus have done something similar before. Many early holders became millionaires with relatively little investments during the 2021 bull run. Such a story makes its audience wonder if the same thing might happen again. This is where the story starts to get interesting. Investing $100 now would get you over 7 million Shiba Inu coins. 7 million is the exact number. Should the Shiba Inu price ever reach a specific hypothetical level that various analysts have discussed, the modest collection has the potential to grow into a whole $1 million. The return is almost 1 million times higher than the original, yes. I get that it sounds strange, but it is actually doable given the right conditions. How does it work? For the Shiba Inu to reach that price, a considerable amount of its supply would have to be consumed. The total quantity of coins is currently enormous, quite substantial. Consequently, getting that amount could be challenging unless the supply is drastically cut. The price would have to drive up the entire worth of Shiba Inus to levels higher than gold or Bitcoin, assuming no major fires happen. Still, there's a good chance of achieving that high price if the community and creators can drastically cut the token supply, maybe to about 10 trillion. Under that scenario, the sum of all Shiba Inu would be worth around the same as the biggest companies in the world are worth right now. Also, when considering Bitcoin specifically, this is not as far-fetched as it seems. The remarkable thing is that some experts actually think the Shiba Inu might get to that perfect pricing point in the future. If it maintains its 2021 level of success, a recent report estimates an 800,000% growth in value. By the decade's end, even ChatGPT thinks it could reach that level. Also, another site, Telegram, thinks the Shiba Inu might reach this mark in the 2040s. Those who are in it for the long haul will see it through, even though it takes time. I think it's a real possibility. Currently, one could subtly move up to the top 1% of holders with just a small amount of Shiba Inu. Before the next big surge starts, think about being a part of that. Even more exciting is this feature. Is that a possible collection of 7 million Shiba Inus you have? It could end up being far more useful than expected. A remarkable forecast made by an expert not long ago has attracted a lot of interest. Strong Hedge, a well-known market watcher, has made note of the Shiba Inu's real resilience. From what he calls an accumulation zone, Shiba Inu has recovered exceptionally well. Basically, it's a spot on the graph where smart money quietly builds up. Just think about how much it has been growing since then. Actually, Shiba Inu made progress for the third week in a row last week. There is more to it than meets the eye. This is called momentum. But what's driving this is, in large part, Bitcoin's recent spike in value. After falling earlier this month, Bitcoin has now recovered somewhat. Along with Bitcoin's increase, the entire cryptocurrency market usually experiences a boost. Included is the Shiba Inu. The value of a Shiba Inu has actually increased threefold since it hit rock bottom earlier this month. Nobody pays attention to this kind of thing. The scenario is becoming quite interesting at this point. Strong Hedge claims that the current rise is just the start. He is expecting prices to skyrocket, perhaps doubling from where they are now. He determined that the Shiba Inu would require overcoming multiple critical resistance levels. That being said, it might reevaluate prices that haven't been seen since last year's end if that happens. On top of that, it's not just him. Additionally, CryptoLights has projected a potential 16-fold increase. There is a traditional chart pattern that could lead to a breakout, and the price targets are much higher than what we've seen recently. Much more hopeful. On top of that, Saboiki, one of the analysts, thinks the Shiba Inu is about to do something that would send it soaring again, like a parabolic trajectory. He is likewise in favor of a substantial rise. He shares the group's opinion that, for now, a Shiba Inu is a good investment. Therefore, what does this whole thing mean? The Shiba Inu has become more than just a punchline in jokes. A lot of steam is being restored to it. A major event appears